Yo, what up, man? Prof again. You already know what it is. FCSTW from the streets to Wall Street. Yeah, welcome to a brand new video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a trade breakdown. This is one of those trades where not a lot of people are going to catch. This is one of those trades that you catch based on experience. I'm going to be doing this trade breakdown on EURUSD, and hopefully you follow me on this breakdown. And please pause whatever you're doing right now, because this video will change everything you know about market structure. If you've been observing market structure for the longest time, especially in January, you can see that there's a lot of volatility. And a lot of people tend to ignore the core principles of market structure. But in this video, I'm going to show you that the basics of market structure are still the most powerful thing that you can ever learn as a Forex trader. And of course, conviction in the things that you know, and patience as well. You have to wait for these things to play out in the market. Just don't dive into the market hoping that you're going to catch something. So I'm going to go into this trade breakdown. I'm giving you guys a breakdown on EURUSD right now. Let's have some fun, man. Profit can't hear, you know what it is. This video is not going to be one of those long videos here. I'm going to be going straight to the point. I'm looking at EURUSD, and I want to show you something in here that suggested that that is a very, very good buying opportunity. Now, first of all, on the daily time frame, okay, on the daily time frame, you can see exactly where we are. On the daily time frame, we had this massive push to the upside, and externally, we took out this high here. So that's a break of structure. That's a very valid break of structure right there. On the external structure. That's a break of the external structure. Now, mind you, look at the leg of price that broke external structure. We have this low to this high. All right. Now, you may not be able to see the internal structure of this leg on this time frame. Well, I mean, I can see it based off of my experience and based on, I understand the anatomy of candlesticks. Okay, this is something I talk about a lot, anatomy of candlesticks. Know how candlesticks are being formed and being able to read the information that the candlesticks are presenting. Now, on the daily time frame, again, that's the range that we're looking for, because that's the range that took our market structure to the upside. Notice how the market never came back down to mitigate the order block. Now, this will be your daily order block. Okay, this pullback would have been a very good pullback back into discount levels for this buy to have taken place. But the market didn't really do that at the time. Okay, so the market left, created liquidity, and the market created this high here. So upon the market retracing back, a couple of areas whereby you can look to take buys from. This area here, number one, you can see how the market reacted off of that area, and there was a rejection, right? But the market dipped into that. Now, this area here as well would have been another area where you can expect the market to sell from. Again, there was a reaction, and the market was going lower. Now, the market turned from this area here. Okay, that's not the trade I'm breaking down right now. But the reason why the market turned from that area there is now looking into the internal structure of the market. Okay, remember, we would have been expecting this to come lower, at least into discount prices to take a buy. So this level here is very, very much valid for a buy, regardless of the fact that we have this order block here. This is from the daily, right? Now, going down to a little bit lower time frame on the 4-hour time frame, right? On the internal structure of the market, you can now see exactly where that buy came from. Okay, so internally, remember, on the daily time frame, this is the low, and this is the high. On the daily, the one that took out this structure here. Now, looking at this on the 4-hour internally, I want to believe, because I already marked it out, so I want to believe that you guys can see it right now. So we have this low, high, or let me just do low, high, high, this, okay? So that's now the internal structure on the 4-hour time frame. Now, there's an internal break of structure here, and the market utilized break and retest around here. Now, I'm going to start cleaning up this so you can see a lot better. Okay, on the 4-hour time frame, we have internal break of structure here, and we have this as a 4-hour order block. Now, for people who understand smart money concept very, very deeply, if you refine this order block, especially knowing the fact that we have a fair value gap around this area here. Now, I'm taking this based on, I'm going off of the principle of order blocks. For me, my order blocks is last bearish candle before all of the bullish movement to the upside that took out the structure. The candle is what I'm looking at. But based off of experience, you can choose to refine this. Okay, you can choose to refine that. And you might have an order block that's looking more so like this. That's your refined order block on the 4-hour time frame. Okay? And if you would have taken that, that would have been a very, very sniper entry. Now, this is how you can catch massive, massive swing trades. This is a swing trade. Okay? On the 4-hour time frame. Oh, you can't get good risk to reward on the 4-hour time frame. This is on the 4-hour time frame. Taking out this high, that's a 1:8 risk to reward. Just going off the 4-hour time frame. And of course, using higher time frame as our time frame that we derive the directional bias from. Okay, we're deriving the directional bias from the higher time frame, we're executing on lower time frames. But again, that's not the trade. That's not the trade I'm breaking down right now. Now, having reacted from this, and of course, we have seen a change of character. Now, this particular buy, a lot of people missed this buy because it didn't really present at the bottom here. And of course, you can see the wave of volatility. This was massive volatility on EURUSD. Okay, EURUSD is a more so slower pair. It accumulates for a while before it expands. It accumulates for a while before it expands. But this expansion was a lot faster than what we would expect from EURUSD. Now, this is because of fundamental activity going on, during the past week. Okay, fundamental activity, Donald Trump and all of that. All right, so we hit this level and then we change character to the upside. Now we're back bullish. This area here, okay, on the bearish trend, I'm going to start from here. We have high, we have low, we have high, we have low. Now notice how here we have internal, we have high, we have low, we have high, and we have low. So this pullback is mitigating this on the internal structure. That's why it didn't necessarily come back here. Okay, it's mitigating this on the internal structure, and there's a follow through to the downside here. So that's a low, breaking this. This is a high, and then we have a low. Now, after the change of character to the upside, we would typically expect again the market to pull back to what? Discount levels. But again, the market used this kind of like a break and retest of this candle here. What would have been resistance? And this is the same thing. I always talk about repeatability of a strategy, right? The market is breaking what would have been resistance and using it as support. Now, what do you think is happening here? The market again blasted through what would have been resistance, right? And now use that particular area as support. So the market now reacted from here, and there we got the buys. That's where we got the buys. Now, where exactly is the buy? This is the 4-hour time frame. Okay, this is the 4-hour time frame. Like I always tell people, I know you're trading in between or in the midst of the fair value gap, but the market might not be reacting from the fair value gap alone. Like fair value gap might not be the only reason why the market is reacting from an imbalance or a fair value gap. Market structure is most of the times the reason, and I'll prove that to you. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, this is the middle of nowhere, right? Fair value gap, imbalance. But I know from coming from this area here, this is gotten from the internal structure now of this leg. High, low, high, okay, low, high. So this is a resistance level. The market is respecting this resistance level and pushing to the downside. Low, high, and then low. So we can see why this level here is a resistance level. There was internal break of structure. There was resistance there. The market respected resistance. Now that the market has blasted through the resistance, it has flipped the resistance, and the resistance is now support. So I know I have a support level that I can be buying the market from on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, It's now a matter of going down to the lower time frame, refining this on the lower time frame to see an alignment on the lower time frame, right, that says buy from this level as well. And how do I do that? I start dropping from higher time frame to lower time frame. So firstly, I'm going to go to the 2-hour time frame. On the 2-hour time frame, we still have an imbalance there. We can see this massive bullish candle to the upside. It is still an imbalance. But the wicks, again, I'm talking about anatomy, okay? How is a candlestick formed? When you look at the candlestick, you should know exactly how this candlestick was formed in real time. How did the candlestick present? Now, looking at this candle here, right, it has a long wick to the upside, telling me that at some point, buyers pushed the market to that high, but the sellers disagreed and brought the market down before the close. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? The candlestick opened, right? Buyers pushed the market to the high. Sellers, so now I'm reading the selling intention. Sellers pushed the market down to the open, pushed it downward, right? And then it closed around this area here. So on the 2-hour time frame, I'm only able to see a wick. But on the 2-hour time frame, I'm seeing the intention of the sellers at the time, like in real time, when they push this market down. Now, this wick you can see on the 2-hour time frame can be a body of a candle on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, let's look at that right now. Remember, we are still within the resistance that was flipped to support coming from the 4-hour time frame. That's this area here, right? So inside of this, we want to see a valid demand level. So on the 1-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, we have that valid demand level. Now, what this is telling me is, again, I'm reading the intention of buyers and sellers. I'm not just seeing candlesticks. This area here is telling me high, low, and high. So there's internal break of structure here. So there has to be a demand level coming from there. And that's exactly where the market reacted. Okay, again, going back to the 2-hour time frame, there's nothing there. You know, in fact, I'm going to put it side by side. Even on the daily time frame, guys, even on the daily time frame, you can see how this candle here would be your daily resistance that was flipped to support. So we want to be buying from inside of that. So what we're doing is we're basically refining this down to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this. So that's the 4-hour time frame on the left, and this is the 1-hour time frame. So I believe the idea of internal and external market structure will make a lot of sense to you guys. Now, 2 ways you can identify internal and external market structure. Number one is when you're looking at the market from a more so macro perspective, right? And when you're looking at the market, you know, from a more so micro perspective. What do I mean by macro? Macro is when you're zoomed out, right? Macro is when you are completely zoomed out. Okay, so you're seeing the bigger picture, something that looks like this. Okay, now when you see long stretches of market structure, that could be external legs. Okay, so from here, all of this can be an external leg. Then when we start to zoom in, you can now start to see the internal legs. Now, another way you can get internal and external market structure is when you're looking at higher time frame market structure versus lower time frame market structure. What do I mean by that? Now, on the higher time frame, which in this case here is on the 4-hour time frame, we can see volatility, big push to the upside. This higher time frame market structure, whereas this, on the other hand, right, being the lower time frame market structure on the 1-hour time frame, we can see, right, smaller candles. Therefore, we can see more structure. So we have this high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So internal break of structure. On the 1-hour time frame, this is valid for a buy, but it's coming all the way from here on the 4-hour time frame. So there's alignment between what's going on the 1-hour time frame and what's going on the 4-hour time frame. And that was the reason for that trade, guys. So again, this video is going to be about hidden demand and supply, or whatever you choose to call it, hidden order blocks, whatever you choose to call it. Now, if you learned anything from this video, like this video, leave a comment, tell me exactly what you learned in this particular video, and of course, share this video with your friends, because again, I'm going to be bringing videos like this to your doorstep, and of course, you have to tap in, man.